Hi everyone, it's Chloe. I'm back with another video today, and today I'm going to talk about what I think about my future, what my plans are for now, what I aspire to, and yeah, I think as a trans woman sometimes I get stuck in, just the short term of things like hormones and, surgeries and all of that, but I don't think about my goals, what I want when I've, grown up a little bit more. So, I'm just going to talk about that today. So, I'm a pretty future-oriented person. I think that, look at her. I think that I'm a pretty future-oriented person. Sometimes that gets in the way of me living in the present. Transition has definitely contributed to me being such a forward thinker, like a future thinker, because, before transition, that's all I could think about, like what I was going to be like in the future, what I was going to be like after I transitioned, all of these things. And now, like, I'm still definitely that way, but I'm working on it, But in the spirit of being a future thinker, why not talk about where I want to be in the next 10, 15, 20 years? So I guess we can start off with my job aspirations. Or most of you know, that I am in nursing school currently, and I'm graduating in May 2016. I will be a RN. So I'm getting my Bachelor's of Science in Nursing, and I love it. I've definitely found my passion in life through nursing, and I want to continue with that. So I want to be an RN for a little bit, and maybe 2 to 3 years of being a registered nurse, and I want to go back to school. And I say that because I feel like if I don't keep going to school while I'm young, then I'm never going to go back. And if I have this much drive right now, I better just keep up the momentum and just go to more school. So after I work a couple years as an RN, I'm going to go back to school to get my doctorate of nursing practice so I can be a nurse practitioner. I'm not sure what field I want to go into yet as far as nurse practicing. I've thought about psychology, so basically I'd be a psychiatrist just with my doctorate in nursing and mental health. I really love women's health. I love, I don't know, I'm thinking kind of a family nurse practitioner, so I can do kind of a broad spectrum of things, but I feel like I can make a lot of difference as a psychiatric nurse practitioner, because mental health is a big thing right now, and especially with the population I want to work with, which is trans people. I think mental health is definitely an important thing to work with in that community. So with that being said, my job goals are to one day open up a trans exclusive clinic. So obviously I would be in charge of the mental health portion of the counseling, of a therapy portion if I go into the psychiatric. If not, I would be just a general practitioner, so I could probably do hormones and just checkups and, physicals and all of that, whatever you see your general practitioner for, and then hopefully be involved with surgeons I would have in the clinic. This is going to be odd for you guys to hear, but my ex-boyfriend, if you guys have seen my transition timeline, he's in there. How we ended up not seeing each other anymore is he had kind of found someone new in one of our friends who is a plastic surgeon. And after I came out as a trans person, he was kind of inspired by that, and he's now going into trans-related surgery. So that could definitely be a future for me as far as career goes, as far as his career goes too. And my ex is going to be a PA, so I mean we're all going into the medical field, and I'm still friends with them, so why not? So if I had a plastic surgeon at the clinic that I open, and a PA at the clinic that I open, that is a trans-specific clinic, and I can do either general practicing or the psychiatric counseling and therapy stuff, that would be awesome. At that clinic also, I would have like a med spa, and all of that would be, you know, laser treatments, hair removal, injectables like Botox, collagen, Juvederm, all of the things that, you know, enhance beauty. But and this is wishful thinking, to do it at a as needed basis pay system. So for those of the people who would come in that made more money, they would have to pay, I guess, full price, and then those who made a certain amount of money or less money or even no money would receive different pricing, just because, you know, we all have struggles in our life, and I think it's important for trans people to, you know, deal with some of the things that may cause them some dysphoria, like body hair or masculine features on their face, or and I feel like a med spa is something that can help address that, and it's always something that I wanted to do. I've always loved that kind of cosmetic part of the medical field. Originally I wanted to be a dermatologist, but nursing is my path. So, grand scheme of things, I would like to be a nurse practitioner with my own trans-specific clinic. I would see non-trans people as well, at least in the med spa. But yeah, I would like to, you know, create a community space where, you know, it's inclusive and rights are addressed and needs are met in a way that is not offensive, but more affirming, because identity affirmation is a really big part of what trans people don't experience in the medical industry yet, or the medical field yet, because there's not enough training. But I would like to set an example by opening up a very trans-specific, trans-friendly clinic. So yeah, and I think that would have to be on the West Coast is where I want to move. If not, Minnesota would be a good place too. I think Minnesota is pretty trans-friendly. There's still some issues here, but such is life. There will always be issues. It's what you do to change them that matters. So yeah, so that would be what I hope for in the future as my job. I would also love to flip houses. Interior design has like been a passion of mine for a really long time, so if I manage to make money from, you know, my clinic and what I do for the community, then I would love to invest in houses and flip them and design them and sell them. Even have rental properties. I think that would be pretty awesome. But yeah. And I have so many aspirations, it's ridiculous. I would love to be involved in some kind of food thing. My boyfriend right now is a chef, and I would love if we, you know, made it to a point where we would get married, or we would, you know, be in a long-term relationship. If he opened a restaurant or something like a food truck or some kind of venture into food. I love food. I've always been really passionate about culinary industry, so yeah, lots of stuff, but I have time. I'm only 22, so what's next? So I've covered my job. Babies. Let's talk about babies. I think a lot of trans women, or I mean, I can't say that blanket statement, but myself as a trans woman, one of the hardest things about transitioning or just being a trans woman is realizing that I can't carry a child. And that is a connection that I am so sad that I cannot have. Because I think that mother-child connection by carrying and all of that is a connection that is unlike anything else. But that does not discredit the connection that parents get from adopting a child either, or surrogacy. And those are two options that I would definitely consider. I would love to have children. I love kids. I love I love children. And I've always wanted to be a mother. I don't like this lighting. Oh, that's much better. So my whole life I've wanted to have children. I've always wanted to be a mother. I've always wanted, a family. And I come from a pretty big family. I have a sister and two brothers. And I loved my siblings growing up. There were some rifts here and there, but that's the past. But yeah, I would love kids. I'm thinking I want 2 kids, or 2 minimum, 3 max. Because 4 is a lot of kids. 3 is hard too. So 2 is like they have a friend, like they have someone to grow up with. 3 is what I grew up with. Like my sister didn't live with us. She lived with her mom. But so, I don't know. I would love to have kids. I don't know. Thinking about it, growing up, I had brothers. Like I said, my sister wasn't there very often. But I just love that dynamic of brothers. I think, boys are kind of easy in childhood, and then, teenage years gets a little crazy. But who doesn't? Everyone's horny. Everyone's going through hormones. So I don't know. I'm thinking I would like to have boys, because I just don't know better. A girl would be nice. Maybe if I had 3 kids, I would like to have a girl last. So 2 boys and a girl, so she could have 2 older brothers. I do have names picked out for at least my boys. I love the name Easton. I think it's very cute, and I know it's a baseball bat or hockey stick brand, a sports brand, but I love the name Easton. So I'm thinking Easton James, and then whatever last name I have at the time, whether it be mine currently or if I'm married. And then I love the name Kai. I love the name, so Easton will for sure be a name of my child. Kai is a maybe. I love the name Kai. I also love the name Emerson. So it will either be Kai or Emerson, middle name unknown currently. And girl's name, I love the name Genevieve. I love the name Vivian. I love the name, I don't really know. I think Genevieve and Vivian are like my top 2 for my girl. Middle name, I don't know either, but like I said, I want a family, and you can tell I planned that out. I even have their nurseries planned out in my head, but that is neither here nor there. What else? Okay, marriage. So, I was in a pretty serious relationship before the one I was in for a while. That was like 2 years ago, though. And, I was 18 through like 20 when it happened, and I thought I was going to get married, and I thought my life was going to be great, and all of these things, and, that looking back, that was kind of unrealistic in like my first big serious relationship. But I definitely see marriage in my future. I don't know when, I don't know who, I don't know how, but I do see marriage in my future. The guy that I'm dating right now, I really, really like a lot, and we're extremely compatible. We're going through some rough stuff right now, but what couple doesn't go through rough patches? We're working through it together, and that's all that matters. I think it's making us stronger as a couple. But, yeah, I could definitely see getting married. I would like to be married by the time I'm 30. That would be nice. I would like to be a mother by the time I'm at least 32, 33, 34. My cutoff is 40. So if I'm not married by 40, I'm going to adopt a child by myself. Because that's just something that I want in my life. And if they don't have a dad, then they don't have a dad. I'm sure I can provide them with most everything they would need. So yeah, marriage is definitely in my future. I just don't know when and I don't know who. But I know what ring I want, and I know what dress I want, and I know where I want to get married, and what theme is, and what my colors are. So marriage is definitely gonna happen. I would love to travel while I'm young, while I'm, able. I would love to see Europe. I would love to go to Asia. Thailand would be awesome. Southeast Asia, the Mediterranean, South America, explore a little bit more of the Caribbean. I'd love to travel, and I would love to travel more, but that's if I'm able to, if I have money to. As a nurse, I think I will be able to, hopefully. So yeah, travel is definitely going to be a big part of my life following my job, getting a job. Covered jobs, I've covered babies, marriage, travel. Overall, I think my future is bright. Obviously, there are bumps in the road that I don't foresee. And I want everyone watching this to keep that in mind, is that going through hard times is just a part of getting to better times. And as a trans person, sometimes the future is hard to see because struggling in the present happens for a lot of us. And just think about what you can be and who you will be and what you have to do to get there. And I know some people have more obstacles than others. So that's just a little bit about what I see my future as, or where I see it going. But yeah, if you guys like this video, of course like it, comment, leave me any video topics that you guys want me to cover, and as always, I love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe and look at all my other videos, but thank you so much. I appreciate you guys watching as always.